Okay, good evening. This is going to be a little anticlimactic. I was hoping to get a matchup where Ohio State was just going to be crowned for the 17th time, but that was not to be. The football gods thought differently, and seeing how this is going to be a CPU versus CPU championship, I decided I wasn't really in the mood to um, live stream. So we're just going to get right into it. Let's do the import. Um, I'm not sure we're even going to have any imports, but it's been a little bit of a. Um, I'm trying to search for the words here. It hasn't been the most exciting season ever. I'll put it that way. Um, but the Ohio State Buckeyes are mortal. Who could have known? I was fully expecting. I mean, I don't know if that really counts as an upset. I mean, if their loss really counts as an upset, because I mean, let's take a look. I mean, Kansas State's not bad. I mean, they were number 5. What was Kansas State? Kansas State was. I don't want their strategy schedule. They were 2, 3, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. Kansas State was 12-3. Big 12 champions. They had beaten Baylor and Vanderbilt. No, it was just Vanderbilt in the playoffs. Baylor was the Big 12 championship game. So, I mean, they were the best team in the Big 12 and didn't have a whole lot of blowouts. But, anyway, we're not here to talk about Kansas State. And with all due respect, we're not here to talk about Ohio State either. We're here to talk about we are here to talk about Kansas State. We are here to talk about Kansas State. We're also here to talk about LSU. LSU is 6.5. And by the way, this is a suggestion I'm going to make to the devs. I don't know if you're watching this. I don't know if anyone's really going to watch this besides me when I'm editing. But the playoffs, at least at the semifinal. Well, at least at the semifinal level, because those are bowl games. I think I don't know how it works in real life. I think the early rounds are at the higher seeded team's home game. But I mean, I think these at this point these should all be neutral site games. I mean, certainly bowl games are. And I also don't know if I got to look at the bowls XML, and I'm going to do that after this season because I don't know. I don't like having the Rose Bowl and the Sugar Bowl being semifinals. I really think they should be their own bowls. Those of you who are old enough, and it wasn't really that long, remember the Bowl Championship Series, and of course that only ended maybe 10 years ago. When we had the Bowl Championship Series where you had a series of 5 bowl games, well, not 4 plus the national championship. And the national championship would actually rotate among the Rose Bowl, Sugar, Orange, and Fiesta, I think was the 4th. And they had this big, rotating scheme. But at least those days are over. The days when we decide our champions by computer. But anyway, we took a look at Kansas State. Let's take a look at LSU. Now, LSU, they lost the semifinal. I mean, they have made the playoffs since the beginning, or at least almost since the beginning. No, since the beginning. Yeah, I think we started in 2024. Yeah, so, I mean, they lost the semifinals the last 2 years. Oh, this is our 7th. Okay, yeah, this is 7th. So they lost the quarterfinals last year. They lost the semifinals. They won the first time around, and they lost the championship the second year. But they made it. They've made the game every time since. And so if we just look at their stats, LSU, we got 2 purple teams. This is going to be a little tough to keep track of. But I mean, passing yards, 9. There were 9 in passing yards. Number Number 12 in rushing yards against. Actually, wait, let's take a look at the matchup. Why don't we just do that? Kansas State and LSU. Just look at the league rankings. 12-3. LSU 15-0. Ohio State was undefeated though, so that, and Kansas State defeated them. So we'll see. Maybe can they take out two straight undefeated teams? If the Wildcats do that, they absolutely deserve to be the national champions. In fact, they could probably take next season off, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, so two great teams. If we look for a weakness, Kansas State is not to have a lot of rushing yards, only 129 per game. And what does LSU do in terms of rushing defense? They're 12th. So the Wildcats are going to have to win it through the air. And which they can do. 15th overall in the nation. So, I mean, it looks like it should be a good matchup, although LSU is a big favorite. Now, again, that's because they're at home. I think the game kind of overrates home teams, if that makes sense. And I also think they kind of underrate the lines. I've never seen a line bigger than 7 points, even when you have, very weak versus very strong teams. It's very rarely more than 7. I mean, well, Ohio State was favored by 7, so no, the Wildcats were 7-point underdogs against Ohio State, and they won that one. So this is 6.5. I think it should be a pretty good game. I think it looks like LSU, the number one pass offense, and pass defense for Kansas State is 27th. So a little bit low for a team in the championship game. So I think that's it. I mean, I think we enough of the preliminaries. Let's get to the game. And again, I mean, I normally live stream these, but I just, I didn't want to do it for like an audience of 3. I just, I didn't deem it worth it. Let's just go ahead and do this. Our league is going to be going to CF26 next year. This will be the last game. Oh, I almost clicked show score. All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and watch the game. Yeah, so we're going to be going to the new version next year. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to put this on faster, and let's just kind of watch this play out. Normally I take the role of a commentator, but it's 8:45 in the evening. I'm probably not showing my clock, but okay. So LSU looks like has the ball first. Both of them are purple, but only LSU has the gold in it as well. And as we watch the game unfold, we'll kind of go into just what are some of the plans going forward. So we got Kansas State, 2nd down and 6, and you got Brown going back, and it gets out to King. We're going for a first down. It's hard for me to really get into this, I'll be honest. It's just when it's CPU versus EPU, it's like, all right. But anyway, Kansas State's driving down, hopefully to get an early start. I'm predicting a very, very close game here. Even though, like I said, even though LSU is favored by 6.5, and I was about to say this earlier, I wonder if that's because they're the quote unquote home team, and I don't know. There shouldn't be home teams at this point. So I think that's a little bit of a problem, especially if the home team is going to have such an advantage as it seems to have in this game. I mean, you ought to be rewarded with having the higher ranking, but now we'll see what that happens. So Kansas State's going to get it. LSU goes, I think, 3 and out. And let's see if Kansas State can build upon its 3-0 lead. So as I was, penalty called on Kansas State, offsides. And it's going to be, it's still 2nd down and 3. So the way like I said, we're going to be going into the 26 version of the game, we've had a few holdouts for the vote in whether or not we're going to transition or not. And I understand that. I think the winter sales should be going on soon, and we're going to take a little bit of a break between seasons anyway. Number one reason is well, partly because the SFL is running way ahead. That league just finished up week 8, and we see Kansas State about to get in. First down, no, it's going to be first down and goal, and they are look like they're going to be stopped. But the Wildcats have taken a 10-0 lead. Maybe I should get back into the game and save the speech for what may be garbage time. We'll see. But then LSU gets back. Garrett Moreno completes a pass more, 23 yards. We're going to see another gain off left tackle. Kansas State has the statistical advantage so far, and certainly the 10-point lead to show for it. But we know LSU's not going to go away. They're 15-0, and it's going to be another penalty. And this time it's going to be on a false start. And was there a turnover there? I didn't see a turnover there. Okay. Anyway, maybe I'll just be quiet for a while and let the game play out. I can't talk the entire time. My voice is. Well, I won't talk unless LSU gets a huge punt return, and they're going to be in a goal situation, and we have a game. 10-7. Of course, we've seen this before. Maybe this will be down to the wire as much as we thought it would be. LSU has not done well statistically so far, but they've gotten back within the game 10-7. And they're about to get the ball back again at very close to midfield. About 3 minutes into the second quarter. I'm not live streaming this, but I am going to just upload it. Normally I edit my videos. I'm kind of anal about doing so, but so much for LSU gaining momentum. It's a second down and 20. Third down and 16, it looks like. And let's see another sack. Wow. Kansas State, they're not going to let LSU come back at them that easily. Better be careful here. Okay, so Wildcats get out of their own end zone at least. So what I was going to say is, we have to look at. I want to look at a few things in between seasons. Number one is the neutral site or lack thereof of the playoffs and the bowls. Well, I mean, I'm not, well, okay. So, well, I mean, that part there's nothing I can do. That has to be the devs. And again, we are still at this moment. This game is being played in CF25, so. If there are improvements, we wouldn't be seeing it here. But I think that I can't do anything about neutral site. I don't know. I can't do anything about whether the game is neutral site or not. But I think what we do want to look at is, or maybe it is. I don't know. You know what? There may be something. There may be a setting in there that I'm not aware of that makes it neutral site. But of course, if that's the case, why wouldn't the bowl games have it? I mean, you hear the cheers. The cheers are happening when LSU does something good, and boos when Kansas State does something good. That tells me that it's an LSU home game. And so I would imagine if that were something that were user serviceable, that was something we could change in the config files, why wouldn't that be built into the game? But we'll see. Second down and 14. We're running out of time in the first half. Kansas State looking to extend a little bit before the half ends, and they should get it on the field goal here, and it's good, and it's 16-7, and it looks like that's what's going to be at halftime here. I'm just moving my bar out of the way, and it looks like LSU is content to just run out the first half. I'm not quite sure I understand that. They got 3 timeouts. They had about 30 seconds, and yeah, the play calling is just very sketchy. But then again, like I said, this is an old version, so let's not judge. Let's pause to take a look at the halftime stats. I mean, Kansas State pretty much dominating offensively, or on the stats. I mean, it was a little bit like that after the first quarter, but I mean, 19 rushing yards for LSU. Now they've only run 5 times, but this is another thing. We got to get the passing yardage. The passing stats have got to be better. I mean, in terms of display, this is. I don't recall whether this is. I think this is attempts and yards. It should be attempts per, and then this should be completion. So it's not 7 out of 72 passing. But yeah, I mean, Kansas State pretty much has owned that first half. Yet it's only a 9-point game. Third downs, first downs 11-3. So yeah, pretty good game by Kansas State in the first half. But LSU is still very much alive if they can stop this opening drive here. So let's go get into the second half. And there's a sack and a penalty. Is that going to be a first down horse collar tackle? That's going to move it all the way back out to the, past the 25-yard line. And another big pass by Kansas State to Pfeiffer, and he's going to get all the way down inside the 30-yard line. It's going to be another first down. And all the day to throw for Kansas State. And 23-7. Look, so much for getting a close championship game, but the Tigers have a chance. The Wildcats have already taken out one undefeated team in this year's playoff, so I mean it would probably be an upset for Kansas State. I mean, like I said, they're number 5 coming in, but I mean still, you'd have to consider an upset if they manage to beat both Ohio State and LSU. One or the other, yeah, but both. Oh, note to self: we also have to do something about the team colors for Wyoming. And on the road bubbles, we can see that yellow on white text. Fumble by LSU, another, and fortunately they get it back. So they're going to get a first down finally in the Kansas State territory. They've got to score on this drive, at least a field goal, or this game could get out of hand by the beginning of the fourth quarter. And if that does happen, I'm just going to be quiet and let you finish the game, because I'm assuming no one's going to be watching at that point. So, I talk to myself enough as it is. Okay, that looked like a turnover on downs, it looks like. Okay. Wait a minute. I just noticed this. Speaking of note to self, the stadium is NRG Stadium. I didn't know there was a Houston, California. Well, let's look at that. These are the types of things you think of when it's 23-7 in the third quarter. I'd be thinking about it anyway. Kansas State basically moving in for the kill at this point. I mean, it's still a third quarter, but they have shown no signs of letting up. And you wonder if it was a fluke beating Ohio State, but this looks like this team's for real. The Wildcats have arrived. They are for real. And I'm not going to say dynasty, because you just never know CPU teams, but I mean, Kansas State has been they made the playoffs every single year. Very few have done that. And so this is a team that has had some success. They're looking for, I think, as if I recall, they're looking for their second championship title. No, that was LSU. LSU won the first. I got to check. LSU won at least once, I remember. I can go check it in mid game right now, I guess. And a penalty for Kansas State. Although, I mean, at this point, 37. Oh, that's going to be against LSU. That could be. Let's go. Let's speed this thing up a little bit too. If they score here, I'm going to go to fastest and just be done with it. I feel I have to show the whole game. I'm not going to. I'm not going to just sit out of it. But I mean, let's. I should have taken control of one of these teams and played the game by calling plays, but that would be, I don't know. I don't think that would be a good thing. And a touchdown, another touchdown for Kansas State. This one's turned into a blowout pretty quickly. And with it being now more than a four-score game, well, I guess it is a four-score game, but they'd have to get multiple two-point conversions. All that in less than 11 minutes. So I think I'm just going to switch this up to fastest, and we'll say a few words at the very end of our broadcast. Okay, so with this game being pretty much a foregone conclusion, I'm just going to thank everyone for watching and thank everyone for participating in this year's in this season of SFA. Finishing up our 7th season, and yeah, pretty much. So, like I said, we're gonna take a couple of weeks off. We'll return around Thanksgiving, maybe a little bit after that. Give enough time for people who want to switch to 26 and take advantage of the Black Friday sales. Okay, well there you go, 37.21. Well, they're going to need an onside kick, and they're not going to get it. But yeah, so we want to go through some of the setups, some of the settings, presentation type settings, and look at the bowl games, look at those tie-ins. And so, yeah, it'll be a few weeks as we kind of wait for everyone to catch up. But this thing's over. So, minute 20. I don't know why LSU's running the ball at this point, but I guess if we get yards like that, okay, well, ceremonial touchdown at the end of the game convert. Okay, and that is the end of the game. So I'm going to sign off here. Like I said, thank you for watching. Thank you for playing. And we will see you next season. And with that, we will sign off for now. Bye bye.